All right, welcome in to NFL preview picks and predictions for Sunday, November 23rd. It's feast week. We've got NFL football here on coming up on Thanksgiving. We've got Black Friday coming up. We've got big Sunday of action here on Nuke the House and the Nuke the House Sports Network and Nuke the House YouTube channel, Nuke the House Sports, NTH Sports Picks. Glad to be with you here. Hey, everyone. I'm here with Holden's out today, so I'll be bringing you the previews here for the next half hour. Get you ready for the guys. I'll be here at the top of the hour with a live companion coverage of the games today. Man, 8 games on tap. Here, 7 games on tap here for the early card, and 4 games on the late slate. Only 4 buys. We're getting done with those buys and getting down to some football with our injury reports as well here in, and we'll get started here. We got to cover 11 games here, or 12 here. We maybe get to the Sunday night game as well and preview the action here and get the guys ready for the games here at the top of the hour. Let's get rolling here on the show. We'll start with the Steelers taking on the Bears here today. We know the storyline here, of course. Aaron Rodgers has been ruled out of this game. Bears are favored in this one by 2.5 total here in this one, currently at 46. We've seen this one kind of moving up and down here a little bit on Sunday morning, but there's one thing's for sure, we're going to have little Mason Rudolph for Pittsburgh. Is that really a downgrade for Mason Rudolph? Rodgers is certainly a, legendary quarterback, but he's just pedestrian out there nowadays. Moments of brilliance, but most of the time just ending up on his back. Mason Rudolph could actually move around a little bit, get out of the pocket. I'm not sure it's a total downgrade here for the Steelers, but the Bears are coming in playing pretty well here, man. They're 7-3. No one's sleeping on the Bears here at this point. We know they're pretty good here this season. And hey, the Steelers have done a nice job. I mean, they're hanging in there 6-4. They actually need this game pretty bad, it feels like, but they're still going to be an underdog here to a Bears team that's won 3 straight games, coming in with wins over the Bengals, the Giants, and the Vikings. But hey, can only beat who's in front of you. The Bears are doing a pretty nice job. Also 6-4 ATS. Pittsburgh just 1-3 against the spread on the road this season. Still, they should be competitive enough here, but I don't know. I think I'd prefer to lay the points here in this one. I'll probably go under as well. Bears are 1-3 to the under at home so far. Pittsburgh, they definitely are trending a little bit here to the under of late, under in 4 of their last 6 games right now. But man, the Bears 6-2 ATS in their last 8. They've won 7 of 8. They do kind of own this series. It's an infrequent series at best. Chicago has won 6 of 7 at home against Pittsburgh, but I don't know if there's much to that necessarily. But I'm going to go ahead and lay the points here, minus 2.5 with the Bears here in this one. I got to figure we get this one somewhere in the range. I would say maybe we get this one in the range of maybe 24 to 20 here today. Would that do it for you? I'll take the Bears here. Let's call it 24-20. Bears get it done against Pittsburgh today. I'll take the Bears, lay the points, maybe go under here in this one. Hey, you're welcome to join me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Got several dozen of you in here already on the Nuke the House Sports Betting channel. Hey, you can get picks from the guys here every day and week with Nuke the House. You're going to want to go to nukethehouse.com and check out our daily picks. We're here all season making picks, our live betting team, with the guys like Keg, JC, Kush, Matt, Tommy and the guys doing a great job here this season. So make sure you're on top with us here every day at Nuke the House. We've got plays up already here for the action. These guys are loaded up today. Keg's got a bunch of great plays for you. So make sure you're joining us here, Nuke the House, and sign up. Just go to nukethehouse.com and check out our site, and also check me out over there at Nuke the House. I've got my college plays up here each week, but don't miss a single day of action with the guys. Our team of bettors up big time here. Keg's up big time so far this season. They bet every live game during the NFL season. You can get the picks, watch the games live. The betting show's coming up at the top of the hour. Visit nukethehouse.com. Use the code NukeRamon for a discount, or use Nuke the House for one free week at nukethehouse.com. All right, we're going to keep it rolling here right now. I'm previewing the action here today on Sunday. And next up, the Jets are taking on the Ravens. Ravens a huge favorite. We got some big spreads today for sure. Ravens 13.5 here, total 44 in this one. Also starting to see now Ravens, man, 14 here juiced, minus 15 at Bovada, minus 12 at Bet Online, minus 20 here in Las Vegas at Circa. Baltimore comes in having won 4 straight. You know, Jackson makes more of a difference than any other quarterback in the league. No matter how you look at some of the top quarterbacks, he makes the team better. He keeps the ball in possession, keeps the defense rested. They don't have the same Ravens defense as we've seen in years past, but when Jackson gets controlling the game, the defense is just fine. And I think the Ravens here against these Jets right now, certainly with their struggles here. Look, they're not terrible against the number. They're actually 5-3 here as a dog so far this season. Baltimore just 4-6 ATS. But I think when you look at this matchup overall and the momentum that Baltimore has here, I know it's going to be tough to lay some big points here, but I'm probably willing to do it here today against the Jets. Baltimore's won 4 in a row. They've covered 3 of them. None of them are spread as big as this. They actually failed against Cleveland last week of all teams, but Baltimore's won 7 straight meetings against the Jets and 10 of the last 11 overall, and they've covered the spread in 11 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams. Now, Baltimore has gone over in 8 of their last 11. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home, and the Jets have gone over in 12 of their last 17 games. So, look, I think the Ravens can probably put a pretty good number here against the Jets today in this one, and I'm going to look for the Jets to take care of business here, I think, against the Jets here today. I'm going to say the Ravens win this one, probably in the range of 30. I'm going to say 31-17 here. I think that's going to take it over. That's right on the number, man. I like the Jets to cover. Maybe they'll get an oddball score here. Maybe 30. How about 34-17? Man, that's way over, though. Right in there. I'm going to say 31, 32, and 33. Those are hard numbers to get, but it'll be right in there. I think the Jets can put up some points here. Maybe get up to 17. I'm going to say the Ravens win this one in the range of, I'll just stick it out there and say 34-17. I think they'll double up the Jets today. They're on a roll right now. No, we got Ty God in there this week for Justin Fields, another one where you might say, is it really a downgrade? Fields is so pedestrian sometimes. I know I've talked up Fields a little bit, but I was just saying he's a man when he got that win over the Bengals and put the team on his shoulders when nobody wanted him. That's a guy you can really appreciate and look, get behind. But unfortunately, he just can't really put up some big numbers against this Ravens team with a defense starting to get a little bit better here of late. Yeah, they had some rough times early on, but last 4 or 5 games, they are hardly allowing 17, 16, 6, 19, and 16. Kind of comes with the Jackson comeback there. The LA game wasn't, but the defense held in there. Still, Ravens looking good here. I'm going to take them here 34-17 or so in this one. Love to hear from you guys in the chat if you want. We've got 5 dozen of you here already listening to me talk about the NFL games from today. So let's take a look next. The Giants are taking on the Lions here. The Giants are on a long losing streak right now, unfortunately, once again. No Dart, we know that. this week. So I'm going to get another dose here, another week of Jameis, which, hey, not saying it again, it could be a downgrade. We know Dart has promise and potential, but it was really just a couple of games, guys. And he definitely was up and down a little bit, made some spectacular plays. But, hey, you know what? You can make some plays. Unfortunately, when you go a little bit overboard, you're going to get killed out there in the NFL. No wonder these guys slide, 3 feet before the first down marker. So some say they don't even know where it is. I think they don't want to get killed anymore. They're tired of getting killed. And we don't want to see Scatabo out there at the UFC or the WWE getting hurt, thinking he's a wrestler. I know he was just scooping around. He wasn't involved in the actual WWE, but hey, he was out there. Man, this guy loves his combat sports. Anyway, Detroit here. We know the story with Detroit. Detroit, after a loss, they always win. Not only that, they always cover. It's been 10 straight now. 10-0 are the Detroit Lions when they are coming off of a loss. 10-0 against the spread. So they just come out and get it done. And up against a Giants team that, they have plenty of issues. We know they've been on this massive losing streak. Now, there is hope. They've covered a few games here of late. They covered against the Bears. They covered against the Packers just barely by a half a point each game. But they have made some strides a little bit, I guess. They're still 6-5 against the spread, but Detroit 5-1 against the spread as a favorite, 3-1 against the spread at home. For the Giants, they've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games coming in. They're not going to be able to stop the Lions here, right? The Lions are going to win. Look at this total. I mean, the total here is 50 and a half. 50 and a half for including the Giants playing here with Winston and with this offense that's kind of meh, I would think. But maybe it'll be just a big enough lead that it won't matter that much. I mean, look, you got the number 1 running defense in the league. You think Tracy and Singletary are going to be able to get anything done here against these guys? Now, Lions have a great matchup. They should put up the points here, I would think, big time here in this one. And I like them to get it done. I'm going to take the Lions here, probably in the range. I'm going to take another blowout, guys, to be honest with you. I like the Lions here about 34-19 here today. I got points in this one, and I think they'll cover. I think it goes over. Lions get it done. I'm pretty square here, I think, in some of these games today, but getting deep in the season, some of these teams are not being able to keep up here right now. It's a lot of points for the Lions to cover, but like I said, 10-0. They're not going to, they could do it with D, but that total's pretty high. So I guess there's some expectations for the Giants here, but I don't know, Wandale, Darius Slayton. You got to give credit to Theo Johnson of the Giants. He's got an okay matchup here. So I'm going to go 34-19 in favor of the Lions in this one. All right, next up. Patriots and Bengals. Bummer news. We all want to see Joe Burrow make it back. His toe is still bothering him. On target here for a Thanksgiving Day return. That's kind of bizarre, but probably don't want to play him on a short week. Season's over. You do want to get him back in there. Get some reps in here. It's over for them. They're 3-7 right now. The Patriots among the best. It's not a fluke. It never was right here, the way they've been doing it right now with Drake May as their quarterback, the guy with no nickname. Patriots here favored by 7.5, and the total right now and pretty much everywhere, 51.5. In fact, the spread's kind of gone down here. The hook's gone here. There's a little bit of take with old man Joe, not new man Joe or superstar Joe, but Joe Flacco, who, it's been a rough go here these last few weeks. It was all good, fine, and dandy there in the beginning. We know the Bengals have defensive problems galore, giving up massive points here right now, well over 34 a game, almost 35 a game over the last 4 or 5 games here. A 3-game losing streak, just getting blasted right now. And the Patriots, they're for real. So maybe there's going to be some folks on Joe Flacco here and saying, hey, you still got Joe Flacco, right? Patriots are 5-0 against the spread on the road. They are a much better team than Cincinnati. They are a Super Bowl contender. We already saw some of the things that they're doing are only done by Super Bowl winners when talking about some of the margins of victory they've had and the streaks that they've had here right now. Look, I know it's tough to say, rags to riches a little bit, but the proof is in the pudding with the Patriots right now. They should be able to blast them here today and still. I don't want a bunch of blowouts on my favorite time of the week, the 1 o'clock Eastern window of football, but I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to say 31-23 in favor of the Patriots. They get the money and it goes over here. I'm going to take the Pats and the over in this one. Bengals still 2-5. ATS as a dog this season. They are 5-0 to the over at home are the Bengals. The Patriots are 3-2 to the over on the road. They're just slightly an over here. But if you look kind of the long term here, I think you can see that the Patriots are starting to move forward with this quarterback and this offense, man. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. Bengals have gone over in 6 straight at home and 5 of their last 6 overall. So I've got this one 31-23 in favor of the Patriots today. All right, I'm going to keep moving here. And we got one more blowout we got to talk about, or one more, I'll say blowout, but this one I'm actually going to give the Tennessee Titans a chance to cover something here. The spread's gone up here a little bit. This has got me interested in the Titans. We're starting to see this one creep up to 12.5 or so. And Bovada is 11.5, but most of the other books are 12.5 right now. And I think that's going to put me at least on the Titans again. The Titans on this one. I couldn't tell you anything that you don't already know. The Titans have lost a bunch of games in a row here right now. Big time losing streak, for Tennessee. The rookie quarterback has not looked good. They're, 1-9 here on the season right now, having lost 5 in a row. And Seattle 4-1 straight up, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games. They even covered there as an underdog last week when they lost by a couple of points. Still got the money against the Rams, so they're a covering machine. But Tennessee has covered the last 2 games against the Chargers and against Houston in losses. I'm not saying they're ready to do anything here and improve and win a game or anything, but you know what? Seattle's always had a little bit of trouble with Tennessee long term. I know it might be tough to look at that, but Tennessee's gone over in 6 of their last 9. Seattle's gone over in 6 of their last 9 as well. I don't know if the Tennessee offense is improving. I can't really say that they are. They're still very, very hard pressed to get more than a touchdown or 2 per game, but maybe at home, maybe they can get it done here. I think the Seahawks will be fine and win this game. I'm going to go in this one 27-17. Seattle wins it on the road over Tennessee. That gets Tennessee the money and it goes over here. So Seattle wins it by about 10. I like them to still win here. Tennessee is 4-1 to the over at home this season. So maybe they'll be just a little bit more comfortable. We know that Darnold has been good thing he's got JSN is making him look good out there, right? He's having a look. We got to go with Darnold. There's nothing we can do. And he's still, serviceable out there. Does a good job. Walker is in today's game. He had the injury report says gluteus. So I guess Walker was butthurt this week, but he's expected to be in there with Charbonnet. JSN, great matchup for him. Great matchup for this whole passing game. So maybe Rashid Shaheed will get some action here this week and start to show the Seahawks what they got him for. Even Cooper Kupp could have a good one here. And hopefully for the Titans, they can get that run game going a little bit. It's going to be tough in the passing game with these receivers. Look, Chimere Dike, I think we like him. He'll be a good prospect in the future. Van Jefferson as well. These guys might be able to get something together, but it's just not a great matchup for these guys. Their top 2 receivers. If anything, you got to go with Okonkwo here this week. I'm going to take if Okonkwo maybe to get in the end zone here for Tennessee today. He's my favorite player on the Titans today to get something done in the props department. And I'm going to say 27-17 in favor of Seattle. Okay, we got to move on. Got to move on here and get to all these games. We're still in the early card, so let's take a look. Vikings and Packers here in Green Bay, and we've got for the Packers here, this offense continues to struggle, no doubt about it. It's what's kind of keeping them down. We got this defense led by Parsons doing a great job, and they'll probably be able to harass JJ here a little bit, but 6.5 does seem like kind of a big number to me. Minnesota, however, has been in a little bit of tough luck, losing 2 in a row, failing to cover in 2 in a row, and the numbers really don't support them right now and playing very well. And we know that McCarthy, he's struggling a little bit. It should have the targets and the weapons to continue to improve. Now, I will say this. The Vikings these games they've lost, okay, Philadelphia, the Chargers, Baltimore, and the Bears. Those are tough games. Unfortunately, they didn't cover, though. They did beat the Lions. Look, they're still a good, solid team here, but, man, it feels like desperation time right now at 4-6. They need their best effort here, and I think they'll get it. I think it's going to be a close one here, but I'm going to say that the Vikings hang in here. I've got this one 24-20 today in favor of the Packers. They get it done, but the Vikings are going to get the number, and I've got this one to go over with the Vikings and the Packers. All right, next up, one more in the morning in the early games here with Indianapolis taking on the Chiefs. The Chiefs have lost 2 in a row, and they put it on themselves. They know that this is desperation time right now, that they've got to win this one. And they got the Colts coming in here, 8-2, one of the best teams in the league. Now, we know the Chiefs are a little bit better at home, certainly. I know they just lost at the road to Denver and Buffalo, but they're back home here. Colts, meanwhile, coming off a pair of failures. They did beat the Falcons. They did not cover. They lost to the Steelers. Kansas City's 4-1 ATS at home so far this season, but the Chiefs, man, they are 2-6 to the under as a favorite, 1-4 to the under at home. I'm thinking defense here today. And I'm not sure. I think this is going to be a close game. This one could be down to the wire, I think, today. And I've got this one pretty close here. I'm going to call it 24-23. Chiefs win in a thriller. I think the Colts can cover this number. And it's going to stay just under here. So give me the Colts and the under. I think 24-23 will be my final prediction in maybe the game of the day. All right, that's it for the morning games. We got to go. We got 8 minutes and 4 or 5 games left. If we can get to that Sunday night game, I won't keep you long. We got the guys ready to go with the show here at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. Stay tuned here on the Nuke the House Sports Picks channel. Let's go to the Jags and the Cardinals here. Jacoby Brissett going for Arizona. A couple losses in a row here for the Cardinals right now. They failed to cover in those games. They had covered 3 straight before that, but they're 1-4 against the spread at home so far. But, hey, I'm never going to trust Jacksonville on the road. They're soft. 1-3 ATS on the road. Hey, they're doing well. They need wins for sure. They're 6-4 right now, but that's looking pretty good. But you got to take advantage of spots where you're favored. That's where I think it's going to be a little bit different here against the Cards today. You got a guy like McBride doing a great job here for the Cardinals, and we'll see. They do have some injuries here for sure today due to the Arizona Cardinals, but I think they can hang in here actually against Arizona. It's going to be a possible upset here for the Jaguars. Strange is questionable. Jerry and Jones questionable. ATN is in. But for the Cardinals here, good news. They got Bam Knight back here. He's in. Probable for Bam here in this one. So I think the Cardinals hang in here. Watch out. Could be an upset today. I've got this one right in the range here of, I'm going to say, Cardinals maybe will still lose. This one's close, man, but I'm going to go here with 28-27 in favor of the Jaguars. I like this one to go well over here today. Cardinals hang in there. Maybe comes down to a last-second field goal. Maybe somewhere right in that range, real close at the finish. But I like the over for sure in this one. Okay, next up, Browns and Raiders. I got to like the under here. Do we even need to go into it? Shadur Sanders goes in at quarterback. Look, I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. I hope he proves everybody, all the critics wrong, and the people that support him, I hope they prove him right. I support him. I don't know if I think he's any good or not. I just like him as a guy. I think he gets a bad rap. I think his dad actually, they've taught them good parents, okay? It's just tough when you're in the spotlight. Cleveland's lost 3 in a row. Raiders have lost 4 in a row. You got to figure Max is going to be bearing down on Shadur. Look out We know Shedeur. No one gets sacked in the world more than Shedeur Sanders. Max Crosby might have 4 sacks today. Look, Shedeur doesn't like to go down, but he can't help it. And this one's going to be a low-scoring game, man, with Geno in this offense. Cleveland 0-5 ATS on the road so far. And, well, the Raiders, they've been okay, but 1-4 straight up at home. They are 1-1 straight up as a favorite. I don't know if that's anything to look at, but I figure this one is an extremely low score here. And I do think the Raiders can kind of get in there and maybe take this one. I'm going to give this one 19-13. Raiders get it done, maybe 19-14, right in there. Raiders get it done. Both teams in the teens. Raiders get the win, and it goes under. They might not cover with that hook on there. If you're taking the Raiders, you better buy that onto a 3 at least, because the lower the score, the more the points become impactful. And this one, I think, is definitely going to be, you know what, it could. I'm saying 19-14 to be nice. It might actually be 14-13. It might be 15-12. It might be 14-11. It might be some dumb score. It might be 16-12 or something goofy like that. But I think the Raiders will get there. But I think I like the under a lot better in this one. Man, I got to keep it going here with just a couple of minutes before kickoff with the guys. Stay tuned. Falcons and Saints here. Talk about ugly. We don't need to spend much time on this one. But you got Kirk Cousins going here for Atlanta today, and Tyler Shuck off of a win over Carolina, 17-7. Still, you can have another ugly one here, I think, especially Atlanta a little bit banged up on offense. The Saints, no offense. Kamara is in there. I think that's good. Atlanta's really bad against the run. So come on, New Orleans, wake up. Get in there. Let Kamara do his thing. That'll help you with Tyler Shuck here, but they've sold off some pieces here a little bit. I think Atlanta can actually still get this win. Maybe they should be favored. I mean, Kirk Cousins, look, you throw him in there coming off the bench, he's not as good, right? But with a game plan, he's okay. I'm going to take them to win this game here. I'm going to take Atlanta to win this one 21-19, somewhere right in there, 20-19, 20-17, something right in there. Atlanta wins on the road. I'll call it 20-19 here, with Atlanta winning on the road by a point in a close, low-scoring game. Now, a couple minutes to go here. Philadelphia and Dallas, this has got to be the featured game. I know there's a better game or two. Maybe there's not. Dallas is playing well. The defense obviously is drastically improved, returning their 5 players from injury last week. It made a huge difference in that game against the Raiders. I get that. But not only that, you're playing the Eagles. Cowboys have actually covered 6 of the last 7 at home against the Eagles. We know the Eagles' offense is not great against decent defenses, right? Against weaker defenses, maybe they are able to tee off a little bit here, but watch out, man. The Cowboys are going to be right on their heels today. This one sets up finally nice for Dallas. Philadelphia's very, very strong, but look, the offense has had their problems getting it going. I know they're 8-2, no doubt about it. They've been strong, but and they're 4-1 against the spread on the road. They've actually been good at covering numbers, but man, this one's close today. Eagles will win it. Here, I'm going to say super close, and I'm going to think it's going over with these two. Another 28-27 game or so. Eagles edge it out late. Might be some kind of late field goal action here. 28-27. I'm taking the Cowboys plus the points and the over. All right, one last one here, and I'll get you out of here. Send it over to the boys for the live coverage here of our 7 games to start. We've got Tampa Bay and the Rams here tonight. Oh, man, the Rams are a big favorite. Look, I'm not saying that Tampa Bay is not any good. I just don't like the spot for them here. They've lost 2 in a row. They're missing some weapons. Look, I'm huge on Igbuka, right? I think he's great. I think these Bucks here, no Evans, and that's been their problem here, is keeping guys healthy a little bit. And I think for the Rams here, they're 7-2 against the spread as a favorite. This one's tough to lay, but I'm going to lay it here. I think the Bucks might get overwhelmed a little bit. Saw the same thing last week, right? They played well, still didn't cover the spread. They ended up really on the short end there of that game against Buffalo, 44-32 on the road. Now, granted, this one's going to be a little bit warmer weather. Hopefully it works out here. And look, the Rams defense, they just signed Landman. They're totally underrated defensively. I think I think you guys know how good this Rams defense is. That's been part of their secret. They're 1-4 to the under at home, 3-6 to the under as a favorite. Bucks are 2-4 to the under. I think the Rams here win this one, but probably win it convincingly here. And I think the Bucks might get limited in this one tonight. I've got this one in favor of the Rams here, 27-19 today, as the Rams get that cover here, and it goes under. I think I like under better, but I'm going to say the Rams win this one. I think it's gone. It's still at 7, a little bit of juice there most places. So 27-19, maybe 28-19, right in there. That's it. Let's send you out to the games. We're going to send you out to Keg and the boys right now. Thank you for joining me here on NTH Sports Picks YouTube channel and the Nuke the House Network. Make sure you go to our website and use that promo code Nuke the House or Ramon Nuke here for a discount. Week 12 with the guys up next here on the Nuke the House Sports Betting channel on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys. Take over.